Hello everybody and welcome to ESL Revolution. I'm your content creator and professor, Dr. B. Welcome back to the channel again. I hope that you are staying safe and healthy as we are all going through the coronavirus 2020 here in South Korea. To my students, welcome back to the channel. If you are new to joining us, subscribe, hit the notification button, and keep in touch with the weekly videos that I upload Wednesday and Friday, KST, Korea Standard Time. Today, however, it is Sunday, and I'm putting out just a message to my students, all of my students. Hopefully you will see this, and I want to talk about a couple of things with you that are related to what's going on. First of all, I want to say that if you need any help during this time whatsoever, I am here to help you. Please, by all means, reach out. If you are under stress or you're feeling anxious about the situation and you just need someone to talk to, by all means, reach out to me. My phone number is on the syllabus, amongst other documents that you can get in the LMS. I know that this is a stressful time for many, myself included. I've got 2 little kids at home, so keeping them entertained amongst all of my work is a challenge, to say the least. So I understand that you are going through similar things, and by all means, I'm here to help you through this time. The second thing I want to talk to you about is the online class itself. Now, this is really, as is the case for many of us here, foreigner and Korean alike, a unique experience. This is something that none of us have done before. We as professors, myself included, have not taught online. And for you as students, this is most likely your first time engaging in the online environment. But because of that, we are learning together. I'm learning certain things on how to do my teaching better. And I hope that as I'm learning those things and bringing them into the classroom, our environment will be far more enjoyable, far more rewarding for you as a learner to engage the material and to have fun doing it. After all, if education is boring, we won't want to do it. So hopefully my class can help with that. Now, I got to admit that my class is not perfect. And in fact, as I look over the first week of online teaching, I could probably have done better. So hopefully this week I will. Now, with that in mind, there are a few things that I'd like you to be aware of. At the beginning of each class this week, I'm going to spend a few minutes reviewing the Zoom program more in-depthly. There are things in there that you need to know to help your experience improve. I didn't do that last week, and I should have. So for that, I apologize. So that's the first thing. The second thing that I want to talk to you about is class engagement. Now, lectures, as they have traditionally been at university, professor is teaching, students are listening, is really not conducive, really not a good method to actually learning via an online format. So what works? Well, in my research over the last few days trying to understand how to do things better, problem-based learning is the method that can be very effective in actually engaging students' creativity and knowledge more so than just a teacher-student lecture. Now, this is great for us because in actual fact, my course, the way that I had designed the course to function in an actual building was problem-based learning, or PBL. Now, if you're not sure what that is, I'm going to leave a link right up here for you to review. I would highly recommend that if you have not seen this video yet, you need to watch it. It will give you the basics of what a problem-based learning classroom will look like. However, the thing that we are going to do is we are going to be breaking up into smaller groups using the Zoom program, and you're going to have the chance to talk in Korean and in English to your peers, to the other students in your classroom. This is called breakout rooms. And tomorrow and all of this week, I'm going to review what those breakout rooms are and what they're for. Essentially, a breakout room is a button that I hit that creates a number of different rooms in the Zoom chat. Let's say I have 12 students. I want 4 rooms. 4 times 3 is 12. That means each room will have 3 students. I'm going to be giving the students in those groups questions. Those questions will be in English, obviously, and it is a way for the students to consider the questions, to talk about them. Now, of course, you can discuss those questions in Korean if you want. That's totally fine with me. I have no problem with that. But during that time, I also think it's important that you practice or write down some of the things that you might say in English to answer that question as well. Again, you can work on that as a team. So, let's say, for example, I ask you the question, how has your daily life changed with coronavirus? Okay, how has your daily life changed with coronavirus? Now, of course, you can talk about that with your team in Korean. So you can talk back and forth, that's fine. Then, of course, once you have those ideas in your mind and you're talking about that in your group, you can then take some of those key ideas and write them down in English. Now, why should you write them down in English? Well, once we are finished our small group, you are going to come back together as one class. And I'm going to ask the team members, everybody in the class, to provide some of your feedback to the rest of us. Okay? So, this gives you a chance to think about the questions that I've given you, to talk about those questions in Korean, and then to translate those questions from Korean, to translate the answers from Korean into English. And then we will be able to come back and engage in classroom discussion. Okay, do you see how that works? So that's one thing that we are going to be doing a lot more of as the weeks go by. The second thing, the third thing I wanted to point out is that we don't know when we will be returning to classes. We might be out for 1 or 2 more weeks. We could be out for 1 or 2 more months, depending on how the situation improves. Therefore, it's my job to make sure that we are prepared for the worst case, and that is online learning. But of course, online learning doesn't have to be a bad thing. And in fact, I want to do as much as possible to enrich your experience going forward. So, I have some expectations of myself and for you. For me, one of my biggest expectations is to make sure that I'm learning from my mistakes. If there's something that doesn't work in class, I need to consider, why doesn't it work? For example, did I plan properly? Or perhaps, was it too difficult? Or thirdly, maybe I didn't give the right information to the students ahead of time. So that's how I can learn and prepare for that experience. Now, what expectation do I have of you? Well, first of all, my expectation would be that you come to class. I know that sounds silly, but really to get the most out of our experience, if you're not there, you're not going to be properly engaged with the class, with me, and with your fellow students. So, come to class. The second expectation that I have is when I'm asking questions or when you are in groups, to participate. I know that is a difficult thing to get your head around because in Korean classes most often, you don't need to. But this is a working language class, which means if you use it and practice it, your skills will slowly increase over the 15 weeks or 16 weeks that we are together. If you choose not to engage the material and don't say anything, you will learn less, you will be bored, and, truth be told, your scores are going to go down. Now, maybe you don't care about that. Maybe you don't care about getting a good score. You know what? There are some students like that. But think about this. There might be somebody in your breakout room who does care about their score and who does want to do a better job at what they were doing in the past. So, if you're not doing a good job, that might affect them badly. And you don't want that to happen, do you? I'm sure. So, those are two expectations that I have. The third expectation. As a professor, it is important that I get feedback from you to make sure what I'm doing is the right thing for you. Therefore, I expect you as students to let me know if something isn't working well. It is the best way that I can take that information, think about it, and translate that into a solution for the next time we meet. Remember, we are all in this together, you and me in the digital environment. It doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be a lecture, but we can learn and we can learn effectively. I am learning just as much as you are. So let's work together. Let's work together to build a good class. Let's build a community together that we can be mutually supportive in this time. For example, I have YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook all available to you. On the YouTube channel, I have ESL videos that come up for you. I also record all of our classes online and post those in a private channel. But here's the thing. You need to give me your Gmail account in order for me to unlock those for you so you can watch them at a later time. But they are there for you as a resource. Furthermore, of course, we have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All social media formats that allow us to interact together. Facebook is a great medium for this. I can post a question up on Facebook and I could get answers from all of my questions, not just from one class. So participate. Build your online repertoire. Communicate, interact. Maybe somebody who is in another class will post a question and you know the answer to. Feedback. Provide them the answer. This is the way that we can make our environment special, secure, and ultimately build community between each other, which is, to be honest, something these days that we don't have very much. So that's just a little bit from me. I hope very much that you will be engaged and willing to participate in the class. As time goes by, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, things will become more normal as we are engaging online. I will very much work toward a schedule by which we follow. Every week, we will know exactly what is expected, what activities we are doing, and that will provide you with a sense of calm and reduce your stress when you come into the classroom. Okay? Well, that's it for me, everybody. I hope that this video finds you well, and if you do have any questions, pop a comment below or send me a message, either through the LMS, through one of my other social media platforms, or of course, you can just send it to me through my phone. If you're not sure how to link to all of these social media setups, I will be leaving those in the description below so that you have access to those. If there's a friend of yours who is in the class who was not here last week, make sure to get them into the classroom. As they say, the more the merrier. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed your weekend, and I hope you're ready to get back into the online learning, as I know I am. Thank you very much, everyone, and remember, be the revolution. Peace.